Alright, moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes John McKinney, who asked me to do a Kim Possible Indiana Jones crossover. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the third tier, that'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, hope you all enjoy this, and let's get started with the video. So the story begins with Kim and Ron essentially, like, they're trying, they're already on another mission. Like, they're on this mission to stop Dr. Dementor. We're not going to use Drakken's sitting out on this one, and Dementor has basically invented a device that could like alter time, and basically allow you to time travel. And what he's doing with it is essentially traveling back. He wants to use it to travel back in time to recover something that has been lost. That weapon they don't know yet. Like, all they know is like, so Kim's already like trying to like poking holes in this whole situation where he's like, so you literally invented a machine, a time machine, and now you want to use it to go look for something that's lost. And Ron's kind of in the background. That's actually kind of brilliant, KP. So Ron is just kind of like, Kim and Ron are like trying to stop him, and Dementor is like, well, I already got I'm gonna get what I want and come back and wreck shit. So Dementor goes through the portal of the time machine. Kim follows after him, and she's just like, you know, Ron, you stay here, keep the place safe. I'm gonna travel forward, and you're gonna have to pull me out. And Ron's like, okay, I hope I could do that. So Kim goes through and ends up in the 1930s in Egypt. And she's just kind of like in the desert, and she's like, okay, I'm in Egypt. Maybe it's ancient Egypt. Maybe he found some kind of like lost. Maybe just Dementor wants to make himself like a pharaoh or something and alter the course of ancient history or something. The guy's got a little man syndrome, so I would believe it. And then she sees that there are Nazi flags everywhere, and she's like, oh no, I traveled back to the I traveled back to the 1920s. And I'm in Nazi occupied areas of Egypt. Oh shit. So as they're looking, she finds herself in an excavation site, and slowly realizes of like what's going on. Is that okay? Dementor wants something here, like obviously something that something he wants, and that's when she hears like a voice go, "Hey kid, get out! This is this is an archaeological dig site. Get out of here!" And she turns around and hears the voice. And it's Indiana Jones. Like, she immediately gasps in shock of who she's seeing. Dr. Indiana Jones, arguably one of the most esteemed adventurers, archaeologists, and just all around badasses in history. And she's just like, holy shit! I know what he's after. I know what Dementor's after. Oh god, because I know it's like all piecing in her head. She's like, oh no, he wants the Ark of the Covenant. And sure enough, that is what Dementor wants. Now you see, Dementor may have gone in first, like a minute before KP did, but a minute there was like a month. He arrived a month earlier than KP did, so he already ingratiated himself with the Nazis there. So KP is like, so he's willing to work with, when she finds out that Dementor is, working willingly with the Nazis, he's like, I'm not gonna feel bad breaking his jaw now. He's like, you're working with Nazis, you have already lost all compassion with me, Dementor. And I didn't really have a lot to begin with, yeah. So, anyway, so in that, she teams up with with Indiana, and she's immediately like, I cannot tell him where I'm from. Like, I can't, I literally cannot tell him I'm from the future. So she makes up this bullshit story where she's like, I'm from the government? She's trying to, desperately, it's like, why didn't I pay attention better in history? She's like, I'm from the CIA? and they asked me to be oversight for you. He's like, you look really young to be a member of the feds, kid. And she's like, yeah, I'm mature for my age. I'm younger than I look. I'm 20. Yeah. And Indiana's like, okay, I don't believe you because I'm not a fucking idiot, but I could use whatever help I can get. So she's also like, Kim already is aware that, like, okay, this is not gonna work because if anything, like from what the reports I've read from the Global Justice Network is that what's going to happen is that they're going to open the Ark of the Covenant and they all die. Win for everybody. But if Dementor probably knows that too and is probably going to warn them if they find the Ark of the Covenant and warn them not to open it under those conditions. So it's vital that we still get the Ark first. And since I'm from the future, oh shit. Because then she's like pieced together that, yeah, Dementor has been here a month early. That means they already have the Nazis have the Ark of the Covenant. So they're already like sending it to, like, when she figures it out and tells, like, because they look in the tomb, they go into the tomb like in the movie, and it's already gone. Like, it's already the shit's gone, and they're like, oh no. Because, Dementor got here a month early, ingratiated himself with the Nazis, told them where they were, told them where it was, and now it's probably already on its way to Germany. So they have to chase after Dementor and the others. So her, Sala, and Indy go after Dementor, who's already like planning to like use a machine to pull himself back, but first he needs to like test his theory, and who better to test it on than a bunch of fascist dictators. So he's gonna like test his theory of like using it as a proper weapon rather than just open the damn thing and look inside, because he already knows what's going to happen. So he wants to test his theory of like focusing it like a cannon at certain forces, and then he's gonna grab it, go back to the future, and use it on his enemies. So, as they're being transported to Germany, Indy and Kim actually, cut them off, and it leads to, a straight up fight. And Kim in her head is like, I'm already like Dementor and I are already like altering the timeline as it is. I have to keep Indy alive. I have to keep this out of Dementor's hands, and this all has to be fixed fast. So what does Kim do in this situation? She tells Indy, Indy already knows, like, don't look, don't look. And she goes, don't look, throws open the Ark of the Covenant with her eyes closed. Dementor is like, oh shit, covers his face. So even Sala does the same. But of course, this everyone else in the area was not prepared for that. And, face melting. Face melting begins, and eventually she closes it, and Indy knocks out Dementor. And Indy goes, okay, so there's no way in God's green earth you would have known that. Even I learned that last minute. So, where are you really from? And Kim is like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. And he's like, well, I just saw a whole fucking army of demons come out and melt that guy's face. You could tell me anything. And she goes, look, all you need to know is that you need to send this needs to be watched over by top men. And she goes, who? Top men. So Kim uses the recall device, pulls her and Dementor back in, through the time portal. And Indy's just like, okay, sure, fucking whatever. I'm gonna take this away now. So Kim returns back to the present, and it's only been like 5 minutes since then. But for her, it's been like days of this adventure. And Ron is just like, holy shit, KP, where you, that was fast. And it's like, you gotta tell me where'd you go? And she goes, Ron, you have got to sit down because I got a story for you. So there you go. That is the Kim Possible Indiana Jones crossover. I'd like to thank John McKinney for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. Other than that, you guys tell me in the comments below what'd you guys think of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.